So I'm Mikkel, I'm CRO at Dynamics. I would say customer experience is huge, and not just for our customers, but of course also the customers for the operators, how they perceive, how they interact with customers, what they offer them, what is the digital experience, is something which seems like top of mind for most parks and most marinas. And again, it links a little bit back to the customer loyalty, customer experience. I see a great opportunity in directing campaigns, offers, promotions towards their ICPs, so basically their personas, understanding their client base. And it leads back to data and AI, where when you try to get a complete 360-degree view on your customer base, it is essential to have a great overview so you can direct campaigns and activities towards those clients with relevant information. And so from a park and a marina perspective, you have so many opportunities, and distributing information through different channels is to some extent a little bit confusing, I would say. But again, when you know your audience, when you know your customers, when you know how they operate, when you know how to make decisions with that audience, distribution and channels becomes clearer, and how they operate today and how they make decisions today as clients may be different tomorrow. So therefore data and customer behavior is essential towards those different channels. So basically with Rentals United, we have tried to remove the technical friction. So there's less integration needed, and it focuses on different distribution channels. So it really opens up your market, the opportunity to drive revenue up, and understanding your audience again. So it links back to that whole customer journey. So the different channels will allow you to look at increased opportunities, of course. We need to understand the audience. We need to understand what are we trying to achieve, what's the right pricing, what is the audience that we cater towards. And with Rentals United, that becomes an additional opportunity rather than a cost. So you must see that as a great opportunity to expand across different channels. Customer loyalty is huge. When you have a customer who's buying from you, maintaining that relationship is key. And then it's of course about expanding that revenue stream across the existing customers. So it's not just about communication. It's really about making a fully rich self-service customer experience, which will allow operators, parks and marinas to spend time on what really matters, instead of moving data, instead of picking up phone calls, responding to emails, because the customer base is known, and when you know your customers, you know what they're looking for. So remember, Microsoft is a horizontal player, and without Microsoft, we wouldn't exist. But what we allowed operators, both parks and marinas, to do is to focus specifically on their niche and to constantly improve the daily operations through KPIs, data automation, measuring improvements, and then constantly, and again, sorry to return to it, but when you know your clients and you understand the change in behavior that you see, you will notice it before it happens almost. When you become that AI-driven, data-rich organization, you'll see the power of the full platform, whether if it's from customer experience or employee experience. It feels like, from an AI perspective, of course, AI is everywhere, and we see the same, and of course we focus a lot on the Microsoft ecosystem, where Copilot is the topic. But when it was launched back in the days, it seems like an experiment. But today it's real, and we cannot stop it, and we shouldn't stop it, but we should embrace it. But please be aware how you introduce AI to the organization, because it needs to have a purpose and it needs to have a real reason to exist. I don't think there's a one size fits all. There may actually just be a single use case for a specific resource within your business, and therefore carefully pick the automation that you're looking for, and then try to get that embraced within the organization instead of pushing it into the organization and get their ownership at the same time. So I would say it's a massive opportunity rather than an experiment. Well, from a BI perspective, it's always been an opportunity to collect information from different sources. And I would say looking at the market, and when we speak to new clients, they had picked many different applications that served a specific purpose. But where the market is moving is more data automation. And that is not being solved with BI. That's really being solved with a complete platform with a pure need, and the need being data automation, data improvement, and operational efficiency. So I would say most vendors, whether if it's parks or marinas, they actually steer towards a single application that solves all of their needs.